Ben, what is your fringe bubble?
You may have heard that the worst soccer team in the world emerged victorious in one of the first qualifying matches for the 2018 World Cup. The country is Bhutan.
Hail Bhutan!
The Yellow
King
Dragons.
of FIFA.
The Yellow Dragons beat Sri Lanka 1-0 on the road in Colombo in the first leg of their Asian Confederation qualifier last week. The second leg is Tuesday, which is Monday our time, back in Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan. A capacity crowd is expected at Changlimitang Stadium, which I've mispronounced, but I have to say, looks like one of the coolest arenas on earth, surrounded by Bhutanese architecture with the Himalayas rising above. The stadium was built in the 1970s, totally rebuilt in 2008 for the coronation of the fourth Druk Gyalpo Jigme Kesar Namgyel Wangchuk. That's the king. It's mostly used for archery, which is the national sport of Bhutan, but it's also used for public events, including the 2011 royal wedding of the king. FIFA paid for a turf field in 2012. Our fearless leader, Sepp Blatter, cut the ribbon, of course, securing one more vote in his umpteenth re-election bid. Bhutan's win over Sri Lanka in the away leg was pretty huge. Since joining FIFA in 2000, Bhutan had never entered World Cup qualifying. It apparently only did so this time because FIFA offered $300,000 to any nation that entered the early rounds. In international play, Bhutan has an overall record of 4-4-51. It scored 32 goals and allowed 220. It's 0-12 against nearby Nepal. Before the Sri Lanka match, it was 209th in FIFA's rankings of the world's 209 national teams. Bhutan's other international wins came against Guam, Bangladesh, and the Caribbean island of Montserrat. If that last one, Bhutan Montserrat, rings a bell, that's because it drew a fair amount of attention when it was played in 2002. The game was staged on the same day as the World Cup final that year between Germany and Brazil. The idea was a great one. While the two best teams in the world were competing for the championship, the two worst teams would play in the name of pride, sportsmanship, and publicity. The game was conceived, arranged, and funded by a Dutch ad man and filmmaker named Johan Kramer. He faxed letters to the country's football federations and then managed to persuade FIFA to sanction the match. He also made a documentary about the game. It's called The Other Final, and I watched it over the weekend. Except for the gimmicky and very Euro-feeling use of a soccer ball bouncing in and out of the frame, because the ball bounces around the world. The Other Final is totally charming and endearing. Montserrat is struggling 5 years after the volcanic eruption that covered the island in ash. Bhutan is only starting to appreciate and play football. Cable TV had arrived only a few years earlier, and students are bringing back the game from India. Neither country knows anything about the other, which makes the match all the more appealing. You really couldn't ask for two more disparate places and peoples, the fun-loving Caribbeans versus the chill Bhutanese, whose philosophy is embodied by a wonderful into-the-camera monologue about gross national happiness and the humanitarian principles of sports. Because Montserrat Stadium is still under 5 feet of ash, the game is scheduled for Thimphu. Bhutan's coach dies a week before the game, so the filmmakers fly in a Dutch replacement. Montserrat's coach, an Englishman and cop on the island, refuses to travel to Bhutan because the local federation screws with his roster. Montserrat's journey takes 7 legs, but the team's spirits are buoyed by the singing of their theme song, Hot, Hot, Hot. This was
Buster Poindexter song?
You bet. This was before the new field in Changlimitang Stadium, so the pitch was in less than perfect condition for the game. Lots of puddles, lots of mud, which doesn't make these decent high school level teams look any better. But damn if it isn't fun to watch. Montserrat gets off to a good start, controlling the play for the first couple of minutes. But then in the 4th minute, a Bhutan header seems to skip off of a rock or a bump in the field and pass the hopeless Montserrat goalkeeper, who looks like he might be 50. The film makes excellent use of the Bhutan radio broadcast. The announcer is magnificent. The Montserrat defenders are like big trees and get the ball out of there. When Bhutan scores again, here's his call.
The Montserrat team looks broken. Thompson is so depressed. Cecil Lake is sitting down. It seems that the goalkeeper of Montserrat doesn't want to get up anymore. He is so desolated, completely alone here, high up in the Himalayas where luck is not on his side today. Oh, I have so much compassion for Mr. Lake.
I'm not spoiling anything here by telling you that Bhutan won 4-0. The teams joined in some native dancing on the field after the game. A Montserrat player takes off his jersey to reveal a wife beater that says, "We love Bhutan, thank you." The trophy splits in half. This is also feel good. Much better than March Madness. Go Bhutan.
Bhutan's record in international games sounds like Texas's record against the top 50.